First Ontario's Dave Scarman is back on this Finance Friday with more answers to viewer questions about income tax. Good morning.
Good morning, Annette. How you doing?
I'm doing well. We've
That's
got a few questions here, so I'm going to get right into it. The first one comes from Nicole in St. Catharines. She asks, with the recent stay-at-home order for Ontario, will the CRA be extending the tax filing date?
Well, thank you for that. And unfortunately, no, the CRA has not announced any extensions. They did last year during COVID, but this year there's no extensions. The normal filing date, due date is April 30th, so 2 weeks from today, actually. Get your taxes done if you haven't already. If you're self-employed, you have till June 15th, but that's normal. What the CRA has announced is a break for anyone that owes income tax. They're going to give you an interest-free period, but only if you meet these conditions. Your income for the year 2020 was $75,000 or less, and you received at least one COVID benefit. So I think the reason, Annette, that they're doing this, because if you remember last year, no tax taken off at source for the first COVID benefits, and many people found themselves in a situation where they may end up owing tax. So that's the only situation where you're going to get an interest-free period. Other than that, get your taxes get it filed. It's due in 2 weeks.
Okay. Betty from Hamilton has a question. She says, I make charitable donations each year, but would like to know, are they really beneficial for income tax purposes? If so, how much of a donation is needed to lessen income tax that's owed? Good question.
Yeah, great question. Again, one that's a little bit misunderstood as well. Yes, there certainly is a benefit to making charitable donations. Not only the feel good you get from doing it, but the government gives you a nice break. Now, there's a combined federal and provincial tax credit that you get, so it's going to be a little different in every province. So I'm going to use Ontario because Betty's from Ontario. On the first $200 every year of charitable donations that you claim, you're going to get a combined 20% federal and provincial tax credit. So for $200, it's basically costing you $160. Now, for everything over $200 in Ontario, that doubles to 40%. So now it's only costing you 60 cents on the dollar for everything that you contribute to a charity organization. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that people that do their own taxes a lot of times miss. You can combine your charitable donations with your spouse. So whichever spouse is more beneficial to claim them, you can do that. Another good tip is you don't have to claim them all in 1 year. You can carry forward up to 5 years and claim once. Now, why does that make sense? Because of the double benefit you get for everything over $200. If you claim $200 every year for 5 years, that's $1,000. The 20% tax break, you're going to get a $20 tax credit. If you did that once, if you combined all those and did it once in 5 years, it's the same thing, the $1,000, you're going to get 20% in the first 200, but you're going to get 40% on the next 800. So you'll end up with a $360 tax credit as opposed to 200. So in a lot of cases, it's best to add them up and claim a bigger amount at one time rather than every year.
All righty. And we've got about a minute left, but there's a simplified home office tax deduction for people who had to work at home last year. Can you quickly tell our viewers about that?
Yeah, the government put that in to make it simple because many of us have had to work from home during COVID. Normally, you'd have to, pretty complicated, you'd have to claim all of your expenses from working from home, the space that you used. So the simplified version basically is if you had to work from home last year for 4 consecutive months, at least 50% of the time, the government's going to allow you to claim $2 a day for every day all year long, up to a maximum of 2 days. So basically, you can get a $400 tax credit if you work from home last year, again, for consecutive 4 months, half the time. So it's a lot easier than keeping all your receipts and having to claim that way.
Okay, lots of people are going to be claiming that. Thanks very much, Dave. And if you have a financial question or a topic you'd like covered in this segment, email your questions to financefriday@firstontario.com or get in touch through Twitter at finance_Friday. And if your question or topic is covered on air, like Betty's and Nicole's was today, then you could win a gift card from a local business in your community. Have a great weekend, Dave.
You too, Annette. Take care.